Hello, and welcome to the new IEDU Day 8 Speaking TOEIC. Today we will be doing a Speaking TOEIC review for your midterm, which is tomorrow. What I will do today is go through each part, and then there will be a sample test for you to look at. So part 1. Practice the passage out loud once, okay? And then work on pronunciation issues. Also work on when you take breaths. So as you're reading, the first time through is practice. The second time, please, will be the one that is graded. So as you're recording, just start your recorder and start recording it as you're going through the thought process. And just let your recorder go tomorrow all the way through the test, and we will find the parts where you are speaking to be graded. Remember, it is understandability which is being graded. The points are given for pronunciation and intonation and stress. So keep this in mind when you're doing it. That's all you're being graded on because you did not read the passage or did not write the passage. You're only reading it. So if there are any grammar or spelling vocabulary issues, that would be the fault of the person who wrote the test, not yours. So this is only graded for pronunciation, intonation, and stress. Part 2. Part 2, you have some thinking time. So write down the main idea, write down the main point, the second focus, and the background. As you have about 45 seconds to think, and then you need to talk for about 45 seconds. You would follow the same pattern as you did in the previous one. Just start talking when it's time to talk. Go through this order: the main idea first, followed by the main point, remembering that the main point is why did the photographer take the picture, followed by second focus. This is other interesting things in the picture, maybe unintentional interest. And then background. This one here, it is understandability. We want to understand you, and we also need to have words to be able to grade. So this is graded. It has more points to be graded on. At first is pronunciation. That's how well you say each letter sound, the vowels and the consonants. Intonation and stress is how smoothly and whether you have caught the music of the language or not. But you also have grammar and vocabulary. This is what words you chose. Since it is not a written passage, it's a picture, you need to come up with words to describe it, and how you put them together would be the grammar. Cohesion is how well it all logically holds together and how easy it is for a listener to follow that sequencing. Part 3. There is no thinking time on Part 3. You will see a question and you need to answer the question. There are a couple of questions. They're on the same topic. Just read it and answer the question quickly. Keep talking until the end of the time. Remember, once again, it is for understandability, not for perfection. Even native speakers do not speak perfectly. This is graded on pronunciation, intonation, and stress, grammar, vocabulary, cohesion, just like Part 2, but you also have relevance and completeness of answer. The relevance of the answer is how well does your answer what is being asked in the question. So if somebody asks you what is your favorite color, and you say a color, then you have a relevant answer. If somebody says what is your favorite color, and you say bear, there is no relevance because bear is not a color. Another example of this would be in one of the classes I have taught. One of the questions on Part 2 was, what is your favorite restaurant? And the student never said the name of the restaurant. They just talked about the food the restaurant served. So they extended the answer first before they actually answered it. And completeness is Did you use testing English? Did you give a full answer using complete sentences? Now, if you need some more work on this about what is a good answer and what is not a good answer, you might go back and check previous videos on part 3 and part 4. Do talk some about this topic. Next, part 4. Part 4, you have a reading passage and then you're given questions. So you're given about 30 seconds to go through the reading passage. So read it quickly. Get the layout. Maybe you cannot read every word. That is fine. Just understand what is where. The formula of the passage, if you will. So if it's a timeline, look, it's got times, it's got names of events, and it's got who's doing them. Okay, that will probably be where the questions are. Try to figure out where the money is, the place, the time, interesting sessions. These are going to be the types of questions. You'll hear the questions and then you're asked to respond to them. This is graded based on pronunciation, intonation, and stress, grammar, vocabulary, cohesion, relevance, and completeness, just like part 3. So, part 5. Part 5 is probably one of the hardest parts of the speaking TOEIC. Part 5 is the problem solution section. So, what happens is you listen to the problem, you do not see what it is, so you're only hearing it. Your job is to take notes as you listen, and then you have a little bit of time to think of a solution and to plan out what you're going to say. The best formula for answering this, to answer for 1 minute, would be first of all to state the problem. In the real world, you really would state the problem back to make sure that you understood it correctly and that you're giving a relevant answer. So even if someone came to me with that problem, the first thing I would do is repeat the problem to make sure that I have it correct and that the person understands that what I'm hearing, this is the problem I'm hearing from their statement. Then try to come up with a solution. Some of the problems are difficult. Remember that you do need to try to come up with something. Some of them do seem harder than others. However, if you do state the problem, here is what the problem is, you will not have as much time left to state the solution. Try to use some of the things that were actually in the problem question in the answer, and this will help you fill out the answer. This is graded based on pronunciation, intonation and stress, grammar, vocabulary, cohesion, relevance, and completeness, just like parts 3 and 4. Part 6 is also based on this. Part 6. Read the question. Jot down some notes quickly. This is an opinion statement. So you're talking about your opinion for about a minute. Pick one side of the issue and talk. And keep talking until the time runs out. There is a sample test at the end to show you exactly the timing of this test. But you're going to have to jot down some notes quickly. Try to come up with 2 or 3 supports. Most of the questions have one side or another. Do you like A or B? Or they'll say something. Do you agree or disagree? Pick one side and talk about it. Try to work the question into your answer. This allows you to extend it a little bit, but it also gives a little bit of background to it. So it would be background, which is the question back again, followed by, after you've done the background, you will want to go into your main point. This is your position. I like this side. Then, first reason why. Support that reason. Give an example. Give some something that's happened in your life. Maybe give something you heard about on the news that fits that answer. Then second reason why. So I also think this. Here's the reason why I think this. Here's an example of why I think that. Here's the third reason why. Okay, give an example of that. And then this is why I feel that A is better than B. That is the formula. It's graded on pronunciation, intonation and stress, grammar, vocabulary, cohesion, relevance, and completeness, just like parts 3, 4, and 5. Now, there is a practice test here. What I would like you to do is to try to take this test. This test includes the speed of the test. It is not clicked through. The slides are timed. So just kind of follow along with the video and try to keep up. And here's the sample test.
Hello, my name is Diane Carter, and I'm calling to get some information about the upcoming marketing seminar at your convention center. I've got a few questions I'd like to ask about it.
Question 7.
When is the seminar, and what is the first scheduled session?
Question 8.
How much is the registration fee? Hello, my name is Deborah Johnson, and I live in apartment 1105 of your building. I've been living at this residence for about 3 years now, and I've been quite satisfied with everything here. However, there is one concern that I'd like to bring to your attention. There has been a lot of noise coming from the apartment above mine. At first, it sounded like little kids running around, so I didn't think much of the noise. However, recently the noise has been getting louder, and it's been happening in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep. I don't know who lives upstairs and what's going on in that apartment, but it's gotten to the point that I can't get a good night's rest anymore. I'm calling you because you're the manager of the building, and I'm asking that you do something about this problem. Again, my name is Deborah Johnson, and my number is 555-3420.
And talk. And stop. And that is what your midterm will look like. So, what you will need to do for tomorrow is download the file that has the midterm on it, or watch the video, and record your voice, and then upload your sound to the e-learning campus to be graded. That will be graded in a similar manner to the real speaking TOEIC, with grades being assigned for pronunciation, intonation and stress, grammar, vocabulary, cohesion, relevance of answer, and completeness of answer. So that will happen on day 9.